Hi, this is Frank Schaeffer. You know, I've written a book called Fall in Love, Have Children, Stay Put, Save the Planet, Be Happy, and it'll be out next Tuesday. And I'm very excited about that. But you know what's so odd is that once in a while something jumps out of the headlines that literally feels like it's ripped from my book. In fact, that's happening every day with the Great Resignation, people quitting jobs because they'd rather be home with their kids, and so forth and so on. But get this, Silicon Valley entrepreneur just slammed Pete Buttigieg for taking paternity leave. And he said, any man who takes 6 months leave for a newborn is a loser. At the very same moment, in other headlines, we read that Joe Manchin and Simona are trying to undermine Joe Biden's sensible family leave policy in his big budget proposal that would help men stay home. You know, my book is all about the need for men to stand up as caregivers as well as women, not because of some moral crusade that the feminists launched, but because men are actually happier that way. I take care of my grandchildren every day, and I have for the last 12 years. Maybe I'm a loser, according to this tech entrepreneur, Joe Lonsdale, founder of Palantir. But I think actually Joe Lonsdale's the loser. And I don't just mean a loser in the normative term. I think you lose out on the happiness of life. I think Manchin and Simona are losers because they are trying to retard a natural evolutionary step where men come back to their role as caregivers. You know, research shows that men get great pleasure from caregiving. It's a shame Pete Buttigieg only took 6 months. We all ought to take a year or two with our kids, male, female, non-binary alike. You know, Joe Rogan said he also was opposed to Pete Buttigieg being given paternity leave. And what amazes me is that the GOP slammed the timing of the leaving, saying Buttigieg should have stayed on the job, when these are the same people who are bringing laws in all over the country against women having abortions. And yet, when a man stands up and says he wants to care for his child, look at this, go figure at the hypocrisy. One of the things that I have learned over the years is that pleasure, real pleasure and joy, does not come from our careers. It comes from our connections in human relationships. In fact, we ought to have a culture in which men and women are interchangeable as caregivers because we all have to show compassion. And of course, in the hunter-gatherer stage of our evolution, or any farming community where men and women's roles are interchangeable and the whole family helps and the old people take care of the toddlers, this was the natural formation of humanity. What's unnatural and what is the philosophy of losers like Joe Lonsdale and Joe Rogan and Manchin and Simona is this idea that somehow men belong at work and women belong at home. We all belong at home first, and then we all belong at work because we need to have jobs. So I want to call out Buttigieg and also much of the gay community for their fight in the 70s and 80s to liberate us from the idea that somehow it's all about work. You know, the gay community spearheaded this idea that we have a right to love as a fundamental right. And the rest of us have to understand, women, men, non-binary people alike, whatever our view of gender, whatever our view of gender roles, we need to push back against people like Lonsdale and Manchin who think that corporate America's idea of shareholder profits trumps everything. In fact, human values are where it's at. Lonsdale's the loser, Manchin's the loser. Buttigieg is not only the winner, but he's the winner in the spiritual sense. He will never regret the time he took to get to know his beautiful children. Buttigieg, I salute you. Thumbs down to these idiots who are criticizing you. Thank you for opening up the debate further. And please, Democrats, don't give up on family leave. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaeffer. Do me a favor and order my book. Help turn what I say in my book into the blueprint for the new normal. And that new normal includes loving our families first and calling out fools like Lonsdale. Thanks. My name is Frank Schaeffer.